Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Yes, hello there.
So we see a massive celebration underway as Russia celebrates World War II Victory Day with traditional grand military parade in Moscow. Look at that. Boy, they really do it up.
They go all out.
Yeah, 76 years ago. 76 years ago. Wow. So this annual military parade was held on Moscow's iconic Red Square as Russia celebrates victory over Nazi Germany in World War II. And World War II is often called the Great Patriotic War in Russia. And May 9th is one of the country's most revered holidays. And, there were some statements made. One of them that was made was that there still are Nazi ideologies out there in the world. And, that's an unfortunate thing. But as we had said before, Operation Paperclip, right? Germany, Italy, Japan, yes, they lost World War II. But did the Nazi ideology really lose the war? And of course, we talked all about many, many times Admiral Byrd, Operation High Jump. When you see stuff that's going on now, it's very reminiscent of what happens during time of conflict, as you see the blockade of Germany from 1939 1945, also known as the Economic War, was carried out during World War II by the UK and France in order to restrict the supplies of minerals, metals, food, and textiles needed by Nazi Germany and later Fascist Italy in order to sustain their war efforts. The economic war consisted mainly of naval blockades, which formed part of the wider Battle of the Atlantic, as we were talking about China trying to secure Atlantic naval bases now. We have to put all of these things together. And there are those that are still of the mindset saying, nothing's going to happen. This is always what always happens. There's always a buildup, and then things just kind of, somebody pops the balloon, tensions ease. If you're looking closely, you could see that things are a little different now. There's a lot of things adding to the misery index and also the buildup index. As here we see single-family homes increase in price by 36 grand due to the lumber shortage. 36 grand. Well, yeah, the place we're looking at doesn't cost much more than that. But the prices are going up. Building material shortage is incredible. And as we had shared, we've seen homesteading channel after homesteading channel, wanting to do a project and then having to shift gears, hey, same thing might be with us. We have several thousand sandbags for an earth bag home that we've been lugging around. And perhaps that will turn into some sort of semi-underground shelter. It's something that we might end up doing, with all the tornadic activity, the severe storms, earth bags. There is no way a certain frequency, think of the number after 4, and the letter before H, right? There's no way that can penetrate it. So that, interesting. So much going on, guys. We put all the pieces together, we could see what's coming. It's not just lumber prices on the rise. All other building materials are steadily raising and are in short supply. Well, partly because of shortage of workers. And, I've seen quite a few major companies that are increasing their wages to try to find workers. And at the same time, we have so much automation going on. And at some time, it depends on how this plays out and what timelines we get on. All sorts of quote unquote manual labor might disappear and be fully automated. I mean, we see robotic dogs walking around. We see all sorts of robotic, technologies being implemented into our everyday life. Look at that. That's iron ore. Look at that. So it's not just wood. It's all sorts of commodities that are being affected. All sorts of commodities. Do you have anything you want to add to this, my dear?
Well, it's going to be a little bit like a frog in boiling water, but I think that people are going to start actually feeling it probably within the next 2 months. Things might be pretty dire.
As you know, we've shared with you guys back in January, we were told 90 days, get yourself situated where you really want to be and settle in, and we've tried to do that, and we got there in time, but we've just been faced with one obstacle after another, which we know is of a draconian reptilian origin. And I know several of you guys said, well, maybe you're not supposed to get it. And I've thought about that, and we've meditated on that, and we've asked the guides. And the guides say, no, it's perfectly acceptable. It's just they are just trying to get us so we won't be prepared. But
Trying to wind us down, get us exhausted, so we can't reach you.
Yeah, so we can't help as many people as possible. Before we left New Mexico, Colorado area, we were seeing, I think we had 10 straight days of 6 to 8 people every day that we were working on energetically. And then because of all the moving and driving, we had to cut back to 3 days. Now we're back out to 4 days worth of full, absolutely full days helping people. They don't want light workers helping people, starseeds helping people. That's the bottom line. So we get over to this. Colonial hackers stole data Thursday ahead of the shutdown. And we're talking about that pipeline shutdown that affected massive area. Think about this. This was big. This was huge. Now we've seen the Russian hackers, attack that happened earlier. Basically, what we're trying to get across is there is already warfare underway. It's of this setting up and disrupting things. What do you attack? Energy supply, infrastructure. This is part of the getting ready for the bigger battles that are to come, and it's just so obvious as we're going to see. What is going on. This is all. It's all things that have to be laid as far as groundwork being laid before major outright overt things happen.
Right.
Yeah, so the intruders, who are part of a cybercrime gang called Darkside, wow, they took a heck of a name there.
Yep.
Took nearly 100 gigabytes of data out of the Alpharetta, Georgia-based company's network in just 2 hours on Thursday. 2 people involved in Colonial's investigation said the move was part of a double extortion scheme that is one of the group's hallmarks. Colonial was threatened that the stolen data would be leaked to the internet, while the information that was encrypted by the hackers on computers inside the network would remain locked unless it paid a ransom, said the people, who asked not to be identified because the information isn't public. Now, of course, there will be in war unusual alliances that are built. And, this is the Colonial Pipeline. You see that originating down by Houston and Lake Charles. Lake Charles, by the way, was like the biggest area of people leaving because of the one after another hurricanes and tropical storms that came in. Meanwhile, we had talked about a particular person, that Gil Bates person, BG Gil Bates, MS, like using these anagrams, that had bought up, believe it or not, more farmland in this area that we're talking about than like any other area. Why? And isn't that curious too, that all these people are leaving the area now? Things are cooling off, and this is what we were talking about on the Earth Changes videos. Things are cooling off, so the areas that might be able to grow, it might be some of the only areas that might be able to grow without massive greenhouse projects. It's going to be the Deep South. The Deep South, yes, interesting when we look at the pipeline here. And could there be anything more to this? Could there be anything more to this? West Virginia factories center stage in supply chain crisis as U.S. economy seeks to rebound from the plague upon the land. And we had talked about all the ships that were just sitting out there off the coast of California, can't unload. And it's so, well, there's so much to this on so many different levels, playing out all across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we had that curious incident of, a ship kind of going sideways and blocking off the whole canal. Lots and lots of strange coincidences, yes. Oh, another mystery explosion hit an oil tanker off of Syria's coast. Yeah, well, what happened there? I don't know. Maybe somebody was, roasting a turkey or something, and it went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
As we see, the mystery blast comes after a series of alleged Israeli covert attacks against both Iranian and Syrian ships. As we see the ships on fire there. Well, it's just a one-off.
Yeah.
It's probably absolutely nothing.
Nothing to see here.
Oh, well, by the way, a major fire broke out at Syria's oil refinery.
Oh.
Yeah, the same usual suspects there as well. This is May 9th. Fire broke out at Homs oil refinery in Syria. And, this area also happens to be an area by which Russia has control of a base over there. Interesting. Well, two coincidences. Well, we got a massive fire breaking out near Iran's Bushehr nuclear power plant as well. Cause of fire still unknown. Well, strange things, strange times. I'm sure there's nothing to look at here.
No, that's just things. Accidents keep happening. It's normal.
Yeah. And some people, unfortunately, can't tell when we're joking. Because you'll get people saying stuff, and it's like, come on, don't you know what facetious means? Because we're being facetious here.
Yes.
By the way, the U.S. Navy seized large weapons shipment in North Arabian Sea. Yes. And, what did they seize? Well, just a few little things here. This was probably just a hunting party. They were going to go try to get a deer, and they just didn't know, how much they should bring along.
Mm-hmm.
So we got thousands of Chinese Type 56 assault rifles, hundreds of PKM machine guns, sniper rifles, rocket-propelled grenade launchers, plus advanced optical sights. Well, maybe they thought they might run into a moose.
Yeah.
And, they could be kind of dangerous. So, you might as well take thousands of Chinese assault rifles with you, right?
Be prepared.
Oh, by the way, this is probably heading towards Yemen, where there's been a proxy war ongoing for a long time. And by the way, there's millions of people literally in starvation right now while this proxy war rages and Jeff Bezos is sailing on his yachts. Yes, the system needs to be changed. It needs to be completely redone. And this is Egypt. And check out this. Well, we heard of the Pentagon. Now you got the Octagon. This is the new headquarters of the Egyptian army, dubbed the Octagon, designed to resemble the ancient temples of Thebes. Huge columns, towering walls. Maybe they're getting ready for the return of the Anunnaki. I wonder if the doors and the entranceways are 12 to 16 feet tall to accommodate them.
Yeah, they probably are.
It could be. It really could be. And, an interesting character, too, that we've been talking about is Erdogan, the leader of Turkey, who wants to become the leader of the revived Ottoman Empire and envisions himself, perhaps, as the Imam Mahdi, or the uniter of all the Muslims of the world. And here you see he has a new canal in mind. Remember, we had seen a canal blocked. This could also be taken as an act, of just preparing in case, there are hostilities that break out and you have the Black Sea cut off from, basically an escape route. And this is also obviously a big area of contention, and I would not be surprised this would be where a lot of military activity would occur in the initial stages of any potential third Great War, so to speak. Interesting stuff. Interesting timing on everything. And many people have pointed out, Space Force, right? Space Force, that's a big thing now. Space Force first senior spouse works to build a family-like culture because it's not going to be a massive military force like what we see with the Navy and the Army and, even on the Marine level. Because currently there's about 5,000 Space Force active duty Guardians.
Guardians.
And 6,000 civilian. Total numbers are expected to reach about 16,000. Interesting. Space Force Guardians. Guardians of the Galaxy. Here we are. By the way, you know, they're able to post on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. No problem.
Yep.
So very, very curious, guys. Lots of stuff going on. Let us know what you think about all this. Are these all just coinky dinks? Do you think this is just another build-up and a nothing burger? Or do you think that this is really the prelude to something that was perhaps planned prior to 1871? What are your thoughts? Make sure you guys are subscribed to both channels. Thanks for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. If you need to reach us for a session, evolutionaryenergyarts at Gmail or EEARTS at protonmail.com. And we are on Brighteon. We have not been able to post to Bitchute for 6 to 8 weeks. And Cindy did get that, you know, from the guides that Bitchute is actually under the control of the dark energies as well, and not to expend too much energy there. So, you know, if you've been watching us on Bitchute, jump over to Brighteon or continue to watch us here. As soon as we actually get ourselves situated where we could move forward instead of just covering what's, you know, going on in the world and sharing, we will be definitely expanding and looking into a lot more options as well. As always, God bless and namaste.
Namaste.